The most recent season of South Park has come to a close, and what a ride it's been. This year, the residents of South Park had to deal with everything from TikTok videos to privacy tours to new toilets. As with any batch of episodes, we watch a wide variety of characters on their misadventures, with some of them keeping their integrity intact better than others. But in the 26th season of this long-running show, which characters in this small mountain town remain the most moral, and which ones fall firmly in the dark side? I'm Kyle with WickedBinge, and this is South Park Season 26 Characters, Good to Evil. As usual, we'll be starting with the most noble character and working our way down to the most evil. This section is the good, and it's probably no surprise, but Butters takes the gold medal of good as usual. Butters is almost always portrayed as one of the nicest kids in South Park, and Season 26 is no exception. We really see this when he's portrayed as a hard worker when selling both ice cream and hot dogs, even when Cartman is clearly taking advantage of him. He even has moments where he demonstrates selflessness, like when he tries to help Kyle out by introducing him to a brand management company. This certainly is done with noble intentions, but Butters takes it too far when he randomly insults Bebe, resulting in her beating him up.
Who do you even think you are?
Still, that was obviously a misunderstanding on Butters' part, rather than out of malicious intent, which is a common occurrence for him. The only time where Butters is even slightly malicious is when he makes fun of Stan for being rich. When that's the worst of Butters' sins, we can definitely say he deserves the gold medal of good. The silver medal of good this time around goes to Leanne Cartman. Recently, we've seen a lot of growth from Leanne as a character, mostly in regards to the way she mothers Eric. When it comes to her child, Leanne has been known to be a pushover and enabler, even though she has stuck up for herself on occasion. She's been doing that a lot more lately due to having to live in a hot dog because of Eric's actions. When Cartman takes advantage of Butters' hard-earned money, Leanne strikes a deal to get their old house back if they sell the business. This absolutely destroys Cartman, who had gotten so used to reaping the rewards he didn't earn. It feels so cathartic to see Leanne put Eric in his place, especially how much he's screwed her over in recent seasons. So we're happy to give Leanne the silver medal of good, as well as the mother of the year, or at least as far as South Park parents are concerned. The bronze medal of good is going to Rick. First appearing in the season 25 episode, Pajama Day, Rick is Mr. Garrison's boyfriend ever since the former president returned to South Park. This season saw more development for his character, especially in the season finale, which focused on their relationship.
A lot of things are different here in the South.
Rick is very loving and supporting towards Garrison, even when the latter is slipping back into his rallying tendencies. For someone as crazy and off the walls as Garrison is, Rick surprisingly is a good match for the teacher. Rick's only possible mistake was using ChatGPT to respond to Garrison's texts, but Garrison was also using it for unethical reasons, so it's not like he didn't deserve it. Rick proves to be one of the more grounded additions to South Park's cast in recent years, giving him a surprisingly strong presence in this season. Next, we have Sharon. While Randy isn't quite as hyper-fixated on Integrity Farms as he used to be, Sharon still unfortunately has to put up with a lot of his rambunctious behavior. When Randy admits he blew an extraordinary amount of money on a Japanese toilet, Sharon was the first one to point out that it was a bad investment.
You are taking that back to the store.
She's also quick to realize that Randy is showing off the toilet to everyone and stroking his own ego. And she comes home early on spring break to clean up the mess that Randy created, which apparently is a regular occurrence for her. It's a good thing that Stan has a somewhat responsible mom, because the Marsh family would be in a lot of trouble without Sharon's contributions. Moving on to Jimmy. Jimmy plays a prominent role in the episode Japanese Toilets. Here, he tries to warn Stan, albeit indirectly, about the dangers of Randy exposing toilet paper companies. Stan ignores this plea initially, but presses Jimmy for information once Randy is almost assassinated.
Who shot him?
Nobody knows.
Jimmy reveals he wrote a story for the school paper in the past, which led to him getting threatened into silence by toilet paper companies. As usual, Jimmy demonstrates a lot of integrity in this episode. He obviously cares about Stan's well-being, even if he's not being entirely transparent with him. Stan does condemn Jimmy for not wanting to speak up, but considering Randy was nearly killed, we understand why he wouldn't. Next up, we have Kyle. And poor Kyle has gone through a lot this season. On top of everyone turning on him due to believing he runs Hollywood, he also had to deal with annoying members of Canadian royalty who move in across the street.
What the hell?
He does have moments where he misses social cues, such as when he can't help himself complaining to his friends about his new neighbors. Still, he is dedicated to self-improvement, such as when he tries to rebrand himself. And Kyle does realize when people are being taken advantage of, and tries to put a stop to it, such as when he takes Butters to confront the brand management company, Cumhammers. He's prone to anger as always, but even so, he remains one of the most moral kids in South Park year after year. And rounding out our good section, we have Wendy. When Bebe receives very loving messages from Clyde, Wendy becomes insecure that Stan isn't paying enough attention to her feelings. When Stan confronts Clyde and finds out he's been using ChatGPT, he starts to do the same for Wendy's texts. This improves Stan and Wendy's relationship quite a bit, as she believes these messages are coming from Stan's heart. We do feel a lot of sympathy for Wendy in this situation, especially when she tries to confide in Stan in real life, only for Stan to not understand what she's talking about. With the good characters covered, let's work our way into murkier territory. This is the gray area. We'll start the gray area out with Stan. The focus of many episodes, Stan has gone through many emotional roller coasters this season. In many instances, Stan seems to demonstrate a lot of frustration with everyone around him. This includes becoming pouty when Kyle mentions TikTok videos with Token,
What the fuck is this?
and becoming annoyed with both Kyle and Wendy for having to listen to their problems. We can't hold that against him too much, as Stan more often than not does learn the error of his ways in these situations. The exception being when he uses ChatGPT to cheat on essays and respond to Wendy's texts, as he just uses it again to resolve the situation. Still, there have been other moments where Stan has been quite heroic, such as when he refuses to back down from toilet paper companies. Of course, this doesn't go very far since Randy stops him immediately afterwards, but at least he tried to be heroic. Almost. Stan is still a good kid, but his frequent moments of selfishness land him at the top of our gray area. Another surprising entry in the gray area this time around is Kenny. This is mostly because while Kenny is a good kid, he sometimes acts questionably under the influence of Cartman. This is shown when the two open Dickenbaus using Butters' money and blow all of it irresponsibly. While Butters' anger is rightfully directed at Cartman in this situation, it doesn't mean Kenny wasn't complicit in this behavior.
Why is nobody showing up?
Due to Kenny being poor, he doesn't get the opportunity to treat himself like this very often, but he should know better than to treat Butters this way, even if he's being manipulated by Cartman. So we're placing Kenny in the gray area, because we don't think he was as irresponsible as Cartman in this situation. With our gray area complete, we now move into the dark side. These characters are the bad and the evil. Touring into our next spot, we have the Prince and Princess of Canada. After getting fed up with news journalists and being so famous, the Prince and Princess of Canada get sick of their lives and desire to be treated like normal people. To accomplish this, they appear on talk shows, write a book called Wah, go on a worldwide tour, and make their presence known wherever they go. Very similar to the recent actions of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, but we're sure that's just a coincidence. The reason they rank in the bad section is due to how much stress they cause everyone around them, especially Kyle when they move in across the street from him. To be fair, when Kyle tells them they've turned into a product, the Prince of Canada does realize the error of his ways. The princess, well, we're not really sure considering she's completely empty inside. Again, we're sure all parallels with British royalty are simply coincidental. Moving on to Randy. Randy buys a Japanese toilet and shows it off to all of his friends, which is a very Randy thing to do. He also starts a cause to inform the residents of South Park of the use of Japanese toilets, calling out toilet paper companies in the process. This is a noble act on the surface, but the rest of his family members see through this facade, knowing Randy is just doing this to show off the toilet that he owns.
That's the new toilet?
He is shot and rendered unconscious. He immediately changes his opinion. This is partially out of fear, but also due to the fact that Randy was never really committed to this cause in the first place, and actually just used it as an excuse to show off his toilet. In the season finale, Randy is even worse. While Stan and Token simply want to play Warhammer together, Randy throws a spring break party hoping to get them excited. This results in a shootout with the cops and gangsters, and Randy becoming badly injured and damaging his house. He was definitely being shallow, destructive, and self-absorbed this season, which is why he ranks where he does in the bad section. The bronze medal of evil has to go to Mr. Garrison. Mr. Garrison is the same irresponsible hypocrite he's always been. Terrible to be around, but hilarious to watch. From an audience's perspective. Thanks to his boyfriend Rick, Mr. Garrison finds out that several of his students have been using ChatGPT to write essays. Instead of confronting them about it like a reasonable adult, Mr. Garrison realizes he can also use AI technology to grade paperwork, thus taking the easier route. However, once Mr. Garrison realizes Rick has been using ChatGPT to form text messages, he immediately begins condemning it. Mr. Garrison goes from bad to worse when he travels with Rick to South Carolina for spring break. While he presents this as a guise to take Rick on a romantic vacation, he's really doing this to vent his inner desire to visit MAGA stores and start a rally again.
Oh no.
This causes friction between the two as Garrison continually tries to rally behind Rick's back, nearly ending their relationship. He does come back to Rick in the end, but only time will tell if Mr. Garrison will stay true to his word. One thing for sure is that Mr. Garrison's deceitfulness and hypocritical nature lands him with the bronze medal of evil. But real quick before we get to our next entries. If you're a fan of anime and our usual Spectrum formats, make sure to check out our anime channel, WickedBinge. We make anime good to evil videos, sentencing videos, and more, and we'd love to have you all check it out. Link below. Cartman, on the other hand, is bringing home the silver medal of evil. We all know Cartman's history, so let's cut to the chase and talk about what he did this time. Surprisingly, Cartman tried to do a not-so-selfish act this time when he saw Stan becoming jealous over Kyle's friendship with Token. How does Cartman try to rectify this? By turning Kyle against Token via the use of stereotypes. This is somewhat similar to the episode Cartman Finds Love, where he's uncharacteristically attempting to bring two characters together, though for all the wrong reasons. When Cupid Yee starts to go too far, Cartman does realize this and tries to stop the angel. This is one of the few times where Cartman is shown restraint, which is odd given this is the same kid who dressed up as Hitler and tried to start a rally in Passion of the Christ. Cartman's bad behavior is made worse when he takes advantage of Butter's money and tries to start a business while doing as little work as possible. All in all, this is the same bigoted, manipulative Eric Cartman we've come to know, which lands him solidly with the silver medal of evil. Finally, fluttering in for the gold medal of evil is Cupid Yee. This has been a minor recurring character on South Park for a while, but in this episode's premiere, we were introduced to a different side of the angel, spawning a new look and changing his name to resemble a certain rapper who likes fish sticks. He aims to help Cartman create a rift between Token and Kyle.
Sometimes, Jesus works slowly.
To do this, Cartman starts spreading anti-Semitic rumors, at the angel's request. Cartman gets what he wants, but is shocked when Cupid Yee takes things even further, hijacking cars and aiming to create his own regime. After turning everyone in the school against Jewish people, Cartman finally gets him to take his meds, and this transforms the angel back into the love-spreading Cupid Me. And that's great, but we have to take his actions as a whole into account, and most of which in this season were abhorrent. So we are glad that Cupid Me is back to normal, but let's hope he never goes off his meds again. But let us know in the comments section who you thought the most evil character was in South Park Season 26. And tell us what we should cover next. Make sure to hit that notification bell and binge our other videos. But most importantly, stay wicked.